Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you are listening to this episode, it is officially Christmas Eve and tomorrow is Christmas Day, and Santa Claus is coming to bring you all of your presents if you have been good this year. So I thought to wrap up our free Christmas episodes that I would do an end of year catch up and answering all of your questions. So about a week ago, I put up a question box on my Instagram and I didn't hold back. I said, ask me anything like family, relationships, kids, work, business, entrepreneurship, anything. I just said, ask away, and you guys didn't hold back. So in today's episode, I'm answering all of the questions that you popped through in the question box. And so we can have a good catch up for the end of the year before Christmas. Okay, first question. How does your husband feel about what you do? Is he supportive? Now, I feel like this question kind of has two answers to it. So the first part is I'm really lucky. He has been so supportive. I literally remember the two of us went out for breakfast one Sunday and we were having breakfast. It was by the coast. It was a really nice morning. We had some coffee and everything. And I was just saying to him, I'm like, I just got to listen to my gut. I just know that I have to help more women and I have to start this business. And I just felt like there was this really strong gut feeling that I had to start this business. And I was starting with the Real Nourish do-it-yourself meal prep mixes. And I said to him, and I'm like, I really just want to start this business. And he just said, let's do it. Like that was his response to me saying, I really want to do this. He just goes, let's just do this. He said, what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, does it really matter? Like, it's not like you just need to have a go at this and try. And I remember at that breakfast that morning, just feeling so lit up and supported. And I just felt like I could go out and do anything. So he has been nothing but supportive. He has, never questioned me or said, why are you doing that? Or that's a silly decision. Or what are you doing that for? Or why are you being involved in a book? Or any of those kind of things. He's always 110% backed me and no matter what, supported me. So I've been very, very lucky. That is the first answer to that question. Now, here's the second answer. There is a TikTok that comes up all the time. I remember sending it to him to show it and he was pissing himself laughing because it's basically like there's a guy on this TikTok video and he's moving boxes and packing up stock for his wife's business. And the text is, I now work in my wife's business. I'm an employer for a job that I didn't apply for, and now I work more than I did before. So that pretty much sums it up for him. So like I said, he is super supportive, but, he does help a lot with the stock, the computer, the website, and the tech. So I'm very grateful for all of his employment that he didn't sign up for. And yes, just super lucky to have him helping me on this journey. What made you want to change and actually stick with it this time? I'm going to take a guess that this is talking about losing weight and changing my lifestyle and that moment where I kind of went, I'm going to do this, stick with it, I'll quit on myself and I'll give up on myself. It's asking about that moment that made me want to change and actually stick with it. I think for me, there would be a couple of things. And I have spoken about this before when I've been interviewed on other podcasts and things. I think a big one for me would be taking a before photo before I started, like an online program, like a fitness program that I was going to try online. One of the things I asked you to do was to take a before photo. And something that I realized is that photos don't lie. We can tell ourselves all this BS, right? We can say, oh, like, my pants are fine. It's not an issue that I've just had to buy new pants because my old ones don't fit. Or it doesn't matter that, like, I'm so tired and I just constantly eat rubbish and junk food all the day. Or it's fine that I just never have time to eat a healthy breakfast and it doesn't matter. We keep telling ourselves all of these BS excuses all of the time. And I was definitely guilty of that. I would just forever say, it's fine. We just play it down, don't we? In our core, like in our heart, in our intuition, we know that something's off. We know that we need to lose weight. We need to eat healthy. We need to move more. We need to drink more water. We know at our core that we should be doing those things, but we keep just telling ourselves it's fine. And I did that for the longest time. It wasn't until I took that before photo. Photos don't lie. And that's the thing. You can tell yourself all the BS that you like and convince yourself that you're fine, you feel fine, everything's fine, you'll deal with it later. But if you take a before photo, they just don't lie. And I think that for me was the biggest where I went, okay. And I mean, I didn't have 20 or 30 kilos to lose. I wanted to lose around 10 kilos, but still looking at those photos, and it wasn't even the physical, like looking at physically how I looked. You could just look into my eyes and go, wow, she's not really happy. She doesn't like who she is. She's not comfortable in her own skin. And so it was taking that before photo that really gave me the kick in the pants that I needed. Like I said, you can't lie. You can't get in your own head and just go, it's fine, it doesn't matter. The photos will tell you exactly where you're at, exactly what you're dealing with. Like I said, it is confronting. I'm not going to lie. I was like, wow, is that how I'm showing up for myself? And it is confronting. I know for a lot of women, and also too with the women that I've worked with, taking before photos is really confronting, and they don't do it because of that reason. It's like, when I take this photo, it's going to be staring me in the face and I can't argue with it. So definitely for me, that big aha moment that really made me want to stick to the change was taking that before photo. And I think as well too, you just get to a point where, like I said, for so long and for so many years, I said, everything's fine. I said, it doesn't matter. It's fine. And I just gave myself all of these BS excuses about why I couldn't exercise, or, because I had a young baby, like why I couldn't move my body or make a healthy breakfast, or, why like now was not the right time for me to exercise and look after myself because I had this on and I had young kids and I had all of these things. I just got sick of my own BS excuses, and I just decided that enough is enough. To make any real lasting change, I have to confront where I'm at and stop telling myself all of these excuses, because that's what gave me the clarity and confidence to move forward and to know that for once and for the last time that this was something I was actually going to stick to. This one came up a lot in the question box. So what would a typical day of eating look like for you? I would say most days are kind of the same, but obviously it depends on what I have on and all of those kind of things. But a typical day of eating for me would always be a high protein breakfast, because it sets me up for success for my entire day. If I skip breakfast, I'm hungry and make bad food choices. So always a high protein breakfast. And that would be like one of my Real Nourish protein pancake bakes, because they're so quick and easy. So that's what I would like to meal prep. If I don't have time to do that, it would always be generally like a sweet breakfast girly. So it's either one of the Real Nourish protein bake mixes. I'll add like mango and passion fruit to them, or some mixed berries. So I have one of those in the morning. And the great thing about those is the protein's already in it, so I don't have to add anything into it. Or I would have overnight oats. I soak some oats in water overnight, and in the morning, if I want them warm, I pop them in the microwave. If I don't, I will just have them cold and stir through some collagen, also some triple choc fudge with the Happy Way triple choc fudge protein powder. So I'll have that. And then I just top it with some blueberries and coconut yogurt, and it is so delicious. So that would be breakfast for me. Morning tea is always a coffee. I like to have my coffee sort of mid-morning. It's kind of like my little mid-morning break. So that's always usually like an iced coffee or an almond latte, something like that. And I'll always have a piece of fruit in the morning. I like to eat a piece of fruit in the morning because, learn this, right? I find that In the afternoon is when I feel more like ticky and snacky. So I'm like, if I get a lot of my fruit and stuff in the beginning and the first half of the day, then it allows me like, I don't know, like, in the afternoon, sometimes a piece of fruit is just not going to cut it. You feel like popcorn or pretzels or some chips or something like that sort of later in the day. So I try and have those things sort of mid-afternoon, and I found that's really helped me so far. Lunch. I tend to be the repeat lunch person. I'm the kind of person that if I find something that I really like, or I've created a new recipe for our Healthy Eating Hype Gal members, like I will bang out that recipe and I will have it for like the next 5 or 6 days until I get sick of it. And then I'll change it up, and I tend to do the same thing again. Because for me, eating the same thing makes my life easier. Like I don't get bored of it, and I'll just keep eating that thing until I get bored of it. So lunch for me would be like a chicken and salad wrap, like a super quick pasta. It might be like one of my current favorites is this chicken salad. If you want, and it's not what you think, it's not like chicken salad with lots of greens in it and stuff. It's a chicken salad, but I have it on like a toasted bagel. It is so good. You can find the recipe for that on my Instagram at The Active Bod. That's a current fave at the moment. So something like that, or like one of the recipes from the Hype Gal meal plan, something like that. And I'll just mix it up, sort of like I said, after I get sick of it. And then I change up rotation of what I'm eating for lunch. Afternoon tea is always something more kind of like snacky, like I'll have a protein bar, some popcorn and pretzels, or a handful of chips, whatever I'm feeling in the afternoon. Or sometimes it might be like, boiled eggs sliced up on some crackers or Cruskits with tomatoes and cheese and things like that, salt and pepper. It depends on what I'm feeling like. Also too, I want to add as well too, you're probably going, oh, that's a lot of food. It's really not a lot of food. And I know as women, we get so caught up in this where we think, because women will come to me and they say, oh, but Jen, I don't eat a lot of food. Yes, you don't eat a lot of food, but the food that you're eating is very calorie dense and very high in calories. So you're not eating much of it. When you make good, healthy food choices, you can actually eat a lot of food. And something that I really noticed is that, because we're talking about what a typical day of eating would look like, it's really, really important, I found personally, that I eat small amounts of food regularly, because I found that really helped me to not only lose weight, but also stick with my weight loss goals. Because I found personally, if I go too long between meals, that's when I start to overeat, or I'm like doing mindless snacking, those kind of things. Whereas I found like sort of eating regularly throughout the day really helped me. So that's afternoon tea. And then dinner. Dinner's varied, all about quick, easy, family-friendly meals that don't require a ton of ingredients. So often it's just one of the dinners from the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership meal plans. It might be a ravioli bake. We might have spaghetti bolognese. The other night we had pulled pork nachos. Some nights it's like chicken schnitzel, air fried potatoes and some vegetables. So each night it is different. But the week before, I'll always plan out our family dinners. And I find that really, really helps me because one, the kids don't whinge about what we're eating. It just takes the stress out of my day. I'm not having to decide at the end of the day what we're having for dinner. And it also saves me money because I'm not at the shops constantly buying ingredients. So it is a good way to save some money as well. And then we come to the most important meal of the day, and that is dessert. I mean, look, if you haven't picked up on it by now, I am a sweet tooth girly. I love all things sweet. I would literally eat dessert over a main meal any single day. I just love dessert and I love sweet things. So for me, dessert every single night. I tell people this and they're like, but Jen, how have you managed to lose weight and still eat dessert every night? And it's like, well, because I understand food, I understand calories, I understand nutrition. So I know how to incorporate dessert into my daily meals without it leading to a blowout. My current obsession at the moment is you can buy these little chocolate protein dessert custards. They do like a vanilla one and there's also a chocolate one. So the chocolate one's like a mousse. And it's got 16 grams of protein in it. So I'll have that. I have a little chocolate mousse and I'll put some light whipped cream on top and some strawberries. It is so good. So some nights it's that. Sometimes it's a chocolate bar. Like I'll have a Chomp or a Curly Whirly or something like that. Also too, PSA, if you need low calorie chocolate bars, those ones are great. A Curly Whirly or a Chomp They're around like 80 calories, like for the whole bar. So they're a really, really great one if you're craving some chocolate, but you are trying to work on your weight loss goals. So I hope that answered your question about what a typical day of eating looks like for me. I do like to repeat things because it makes it easy. And it's also like when you find something that you love and it's really tasty and you're excited about your food, you're just going to keep eating those things like over and over again. The next question that came up was, do you want to have more kids? Really don't know how to answer this, except I'm trying to think of like the shortest, quickest, easiest way to answer this. My uterus is closed, like well and truly closed. The shop is shut. I have 2 beautiful children. I'm very happy with 2 beautiful children. So kids are definitely not something that is on my radar. That is for sure. For this next question, I'm really grateful to the person that asked this question because it gives me a chance to talk about a topic that is not talked about enough. And the question was, my partner does not support me trying to lose weight and eat healthy. He always makes a comment about if I go and exercise or if I want to go to the gym, and I just feel like he doesn't support me. What do you suggest that I do? Now, this is really common. The amount of women that I work with that will say to me, Jen, like I bought new activewear and my husband or my partner like made some silly comment about it, like, why are you wearing that? Or, I want to go and exercise and my husband just won't help me or look after the kids. Well, I can go and make time for myself or go to my gym class or my Pilates or whatever it is. This is a really common problem that women experience. And I feel like maybe even later on I should do like a full episode on this, but you do not have to get permission to exercise, to eat healthy, or to look after yourself. So if you are listening to this and your partner is not supportive of you taking care of yourself, you need to find a way around it, and you need to sit down with them and have a chat with them and tell them that this is important to you. You want to look after yourself because it makes you show up better. It makes you a better partner. It makes you a better mum, all of those kind of things. And you need to sit down with them and have a chat about why it's so important to you to be able to do these things and come up with a plan together. Because I've always found if you're open and have these conversations with them, often it's just that, often our partners, it's hard for them to see us changing. It's like, well, people in our life have this sort of set view about who we are, about what we're like, about how we show up. And when we go and do something that's outside of that norm, so if you're someone that's never exercised or never gone to the gym and you suddenly want to buy new activewear and go to the gym, it's hard for the person that's closest to you because that's not how they see you. That's not how. So you going out and wanting to exercise and buy new activewear and take care of yourself, it's not actually a reflection on you. It's usually to do with how they feel about themselves and your relationship together. So it's important to sit down with them and talk. So for me and my husband, like I go to the gym in the morning, early morning, and he would go after work. Now, that's just the system that we have found that makes it work for us. Like for me, there is no way on earth I'm going to the gym. At the end of the day, I'm too tired. I'm too exhausted after doing kids and dinner and all that kind of stuff. I'm personally just not interested in exercising. Whereas he really likes it. He likes to unwind and de-stress and have that time to himself. Whereas I prefer to get up in the morning, move my body in the morning, get it out of the way, get it done. I find it helps me focus and have more energy for the day. So it's really about finding a system that works for you and your partner. But I find so many women just give up because their partners aren't supportive. So you really, really need to put the effort in to find a system that works for both of you. It is never to do with you. It's not to do with the new activewear. It's not to do with the fact that you want to go to the gym. It's usually to do with how they feel about themselves, how they perceive you and how they see you. So definitely make sure that you can keep showing up and find a system that works for both of you because you are worth it and you will show up as a better person and you will feel better and you'll have more care and love to give for your entire family when you take care of yourself too. How do you fit everything in, like your morning workouts, cooking healthy meals? I just can't seem to find the time to make healthy eating happen. Okay, so probably a lot of you are going to relate to this. I have wasted years waiting for motivation, just sitting around waiting to feel motivated to cook a healthy meal, waiting to feel motivated to go to the gym. And I realized that motivation's not coming. Like, it's just such a fleeting experience. Like, you might buy some new activewear, or you sign up for a new gym class and you're like, yes, I'm really motivated and I'm going to do this. And it's going to last you about 3 days before the motivation starts to disappear and you're not that interested in going. So it's something that we as women have to stop relying on. Motivation is not reliable. You cannot trust it and you cannot count on it. So what I changed so that I could make time for exercise, healthy eating, all those things, and being able to fit them into my day is I changed relying on motivation to setting up systems for myself. So instead of expecting to wake up in the morning and, oh, great, we're like exercising today, let's go to the gym and let's work out. So instead of doing that, I would put systems in place to set me up for success. So what I mean by that is, instead of waiting for the alarm to go off and having that motivation feeling, I got my gym clothes out. I got my sneakers out. I got my socks out. I filled up my water bottle. I had everything there in a pile on the chair at the end of my bed, so that when I woke up in the morning, that was the first thing that I would see. I didn't have to organize myself. I didn't have to fill my water bottle. So it's about reducing those decisions that you have to make doing the thing easier. It was easier for me to get up and go to the gym because I didn't have to try and find my socks and my shoes, and was there activewear that was clean, or was it in the laundry basket, or one of the kids borrowed my water bottle and I can't find it. I had everything there. So I had very little decision to make. I had very little reason or excuse to say I can't go. And so it made it easier for me to go and do that thing. So it really is about finding systems to set yourself up for success, because we do all have the same 24 hours in a day. I don't have more than you or less than you. We all have the same, but I just try and work smarter, not harder. And the more you do things to make your life easier, so being more organized, being more, like I said, setting yourself up for success, the easier those tasks feel and get to be. They just do. Like, showing up for the gym starts to feel easier. If I plan out my meals, making a healthy dinner at nighttime for me and my family just gets to feel easier, because I've gone from working all day, end of the day, oh, what's for dinner? I don't know. Check the fridge. I've got no ingredients, right? I've got to go to the shops, buy some stuff. I've got to come home and then I've got to cook it. See how it becomes really hard and complicated. Whereas if I've planned my meals, I come home from work, I know what I'm having. Everything is in the fridge. It's ready to go. It might take me 10 or 20 minutes to cook a healthy dinner for me and my family. So it is all about doing those things and setting up those systems so that you can have success. And that's where you find the time. That's where I find the time to do these things. If I was not organized and didn't plan ahead and didn't set things up for success, I would be an absolute mess and completely all over the place. And I could tell you there would be no exercise. There would be no gym workouts. There would be no healthy dinner, because it just wouldn't be happening, because I would be a tired, frazzled mess. So that is how I fit everything in. It's those systems that set me up for success. And don't get me wrong, like, I have some days where it all just goes to crap. Like, the entire day wake up, I have the best intentions and everything, or something happens in the business, or something happens with my kids, and all these things just happen that are outside of my control. So please don't think that all of my days are perfect and run smoothly, because that's definitely not the case. I do have those systems in place that support me and also catch me on those days when everything goes to crap. Having those systems in place really, really helps me get through and fit in those things where I can make myself a priority and can make time for healthy eating and exercise. Are you tired of the endless struggle to eat healthy and nail your meal prep routine? Introducing the Real Nourish Do-It-Yourself Meal Prep Mixes, the ultimate solution for busy women like you. When I went on my own personal health journey, I discovered the many benefits of meal prep. And after much searching, I just couldn't find a meal prep mix that was designed especially for women. So I literally decided to create my own. Trust me, as a busy working mum, meal prep has changed my life. Our mixes are packed with protein to keep you energized and feeling full. Our mixes can be whipped up in under 10 minutes, perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Using our award-winning pancake tray bake mix means you can say goodbye to standing over a hot stove, flipping pancakes. Simply add water, toss in your favorite fruits, and bake. If you're ready to revolutionize your meal prep game, you can find my mixes at theactivebod.com or follow us on Instagram at realnourish_. And as a special thank you to our Healthy Her community, we have a discount code. So just enter the code, The Healthy Her, at the checkout. I want to lose weight, but I keep failing. I have no motivation. What do I do? The biggest thing I want you to understand as a woman is every problem that you experience around eating healthy and losing weight and exercising or getting to a workout class, there is a solution for every single one of those problems that you are having. A simple solution. There truly is. And I know that is why I created the Healthy Eating Hype Girl membership, because women are not being educated about this stuff. Women are not being taught the things around healthy eating and weight loss and food that they need to know. And that's why I see posts like this and questions like this, and it's on my threads and it's on TikTok and everything about women saying that the intentions are there. They want to lose weight. They want to look better. They want to feel better. And they keep trying and they keep failing over and over again. And it's really about learning and understanding what changes you need to make and why you are making those changes. And that's what I found, is that all the programs and things that I tried, they would give me the what. So they'd say, okay, Jen, here's your meal plan. I want you to eat this. And even if I got some result, at the end of it, the weight always came back on because I didn't understand what I was doing. I didn't understand what diet changes I'd made. I didn't understand why I was eating those calories. I didn't understand why I was eating those meals. And this lack of knowledge is why so many of us struggle to eat healthy and exercise consistently for a long period of time, because we just don't understand. And if you are stuck in that diet cycle and keep failing and things like that, one big tip that I can give you is that weight loss is a slow process. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but I think the more that as women we accept that, we are going to get closer to our goals, because that is the number one reason why women quit too soon. It's because, we don't see results in 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever. And so we go, well, this is not working, and we quit. Women are very, very smart. You are very, very smart. And it's just that you are not allowing yourself enough time to reach the results that you want. And that's why you keep quitting on yourself. So if that's one bit of advice I can give you, it's definitely be patient and stay the course, because the women that succeed are the ones that are patient, they trust the process, and they stay the course. And they also learn. They learn about food. They learn about calories. They learn about energy. They learn about their sleep. And I always say this, knowledge is power. Like, I remember for so long, I just was stuck in the diet cycle. I tried something and I failed. I tried something else and that failed. And it's really damages your self-esteem after a while, because it beats you down. You go into it with good intentions and you just get beaten down and beaten down and beaten down every single time. And so you go, well, what's the point? Why bother? I'm just going to quit this. I may as well just give up. I'm never going to lose weight. I'm never going to change my my eating habits. But over time, if you are persistent and you stick with it and you stay the course and you trust yourself, it is so achievable. Women don't quit on weight loss because they can't do it. Women quit on weight loss because they don't understand what they're doing and because it takes way longer than they think it's going to take. So that's why I've created the Healthy Eating Hype Girl membership. So definitely recommend checking that out if you are ready to kickstart your journey for the new year and to finally ditch that dieting, because it's really not a fun place to be in. It's not a good cycle to be in. And you just feel stuck and like you can't move anywhere. And there is definitely an easy solution. This next question is all about my work week. So what does your work week look like? I have to say it does kind of change a bit depending on what is happening. Like, I have kind of got into like a bit of a system with, recording the podcast episodes. So like Mondays, I try and check in with our Healthy Eating Hype Girl members. I get them all set up for the new week, ready for a successful week. Then it will be into like either planning or recording podcast episodes for the Healthy Her podcast. Wednesday might be emails, and I'll spend the day doing recipe creation and meal planning development for the membership, because in the membership, the girls get a new meal plan every month. So it might be planning out the next month's meal plans. It might be planning out their challenges, because we run those every single month just to help with motivation and keeping you inspired. And so that's sort of what like a typical Wednesday would look like. And then obviously amongst all of this, I have to add in all of my mum duties. It's the washing, it's the cooking, it's the cleaning, it's the food shopping, it's all of those boring things. Like I'll try and sort of add little pockets of that into my day. So it's not just one massive overwhelming task that I have to do each night. So I try and like break it into little bits. That's sort of something that really helped me when I became a mum. I used to be the person that, it's a Saturday and I do a food shop and a clean and I do all this stuff. I just found when I became a mum, that just did not work at all. So I found for me, breaking my week of tasks into little chunks and moments really helped me. So it might be Monday, I'll food shop. Tuesday, I might clean the bathrooms. Wednesday, it's washing. Like I just break those tasks up throughout the week to make things feel a bit less overwhelming for me. Other days, it might be a content day. So I will film TikToks and I will head down to the grocery store or the supermarket and record some of those Aldi videos that I know you guys absolutely love. If you are not sure what I'm talking about, you can head to my Instagram and you can check those out. So like I'll do no prep healthy lunches, when you've just got no time and you just need a meal, like quick and easy dinners, all those kind of things. So I will go and film the content in the supermarket. And yes, I know people ask me, Jen, how do you film yourself in public? I remember the first time I would feel really like people are staring at me and, oh my God, I don't care now. Like I just don't care because my why is greater than me feeling uncomfortable. So if I'm standing in Aldi and I'm trying to film something or adding things to my shopping trolley and I feel a bit awkward, I don't care because I know that, while someone's looking at me and thinking, oh, she's a weirdo or one of those strange influencers, I'm not. I know that what I'm doing is going to help thousands of women. So, I'm quite happy to feel like a weirdo and a bit awkward at the Aldi store so that I can make healthy eating and those things feel a whole lot easier for you. And then usually like Fridays, I will try and have, it's like a bit of an end of week sort of tidy up thing, like I make sure, or also forgot to mention, like obviously each day I make sure that all of our Real Nourish meal prep mix orders go out. So that's like, there's always a portion of my day that I pack up and schedule out all of the orders, or it might be, and that's the thing, that's where the weeks might change. So like one week we might be working on developing a new products for Real Nourish. So that might take up a lot of time. So it means that the podcast recording gets pushed back a week. So some things in my week will stay the same, but other weeks are quite different depending on what I've got on. Recently, I've been invited to be a guest on a lot of podcast interviews. So I've had to schedule those into my week as well. That can take up a fair bit of time. I run my coaching calls every Tuesday fortnight for our Healthy Eating Hype Gun members where they can ask me any questions and get clarity and get support that they need. So like I said, the weeks are really busy, but it does depend on what I've got going on. It might be meetings. Every week is different, but basic things like podcast recording, the Hype Gun members, the coaching calls, the meal planning, those basic staples stay the same every single week. And this last question is, I feel really stuck and every day feels the same. Any tips on finding clarity? I think a big one, and I think this is good, as we're heading towards the end of the year, but I think that for a lot of us, especially as women, we just go about our day to day mindlessly. And I know that that's not on purpose. It's because we're so freaking burnt out and we have so many things on our plate and we're juggling all the things that we just go about our days mindlessly. And I think it's really important, especially as we are at the end of the year, to take some time and just check in with yourself and ask yourself what you really want. Like, is what you're doing what you really want? Is the job that you're in what you really want? Is the relationship that you're in, what you really want? Is how you show up for yourself with healthy eating and exercise? Are you doing that in the way that you want? And like I said, I think that clarity comes from when you find the time and take a moment to stop going through your day just mindlessly, like task after task after task, and not actually thinking about what you're doing. Because like I said, what it does is like you become disconnected. You have no feeling towards those daily tasks and those things that you're doing. So if you are wanting to get clarity, especially as you move into the new year, it's really important to take some time to sit down, even if you get out a piece of paper, think about like, what do you really want for yourself, and be completely honest. Like I said, because often we just need time, and women don't have time. Our brains are on go, 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 like every minute of every single day. So try and schedule in a bit of time, even over this festive break, just to have a think about what you really want and get really clear. Because it's very hard to make the changes and to see change and to get unstuck if you don't actually know what you want and if you're not really clear on what you want. So definitely recommend taking that time to get really clear on what you want and how you want to feel and how you want to show up for the coming year, because that will help you get unstuck, and that will also give you that clarity, and it will also give you that clear path forward about what you want to do. I didn't expect this episode to be as long as it was, but I hope you enjoyed this little end of year catch up and answering all of your questions. You guys definitely gave me some good ones and some really good ones to think about. So I hope that you have a beautiful Christmas day with your friends and family, and you eat all of the delicious food, all of the yummy food, guilt-free, and just have the most amazing Christmas day and a festive break. And I will see you all for a very special end of year episode, which will be dropping at the end of December. As always, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing, because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @TheActiveBod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.